You are welcome to Me and You Christian Relationship Foundation with Simon Asemota and Pastor Grace Asemota. It's a joy coming to share thoughts with you on family life. Well, we know that family is everybody's business. I want to especially welcome you to this series that we've been taking, talking about the stages of marriage and how we go through them to bring out the best in our marriages. It's unfortunate in our world today, a lot of us see themselves, a lot of marriage couples see themselves as enemy instead of seeing themselves as partner. That is why you begin to hear story of this kid, this kid. If it's your partner, why will you kill it, the one that is supposed to be a blessing to you? So we are talking about God's standard and God's way of doing this married life, because marriage is not the political leaders that pass it in the law, it's God's idea. And because it's God's idea, God is good, and every good and perfect is coming from above, from the Father of light, until there is no variableness, neither shadow of turning. Before I hand over to my girlfriend this morning, I want to read a portion of the Bible that is going to bless you. I think I should hand over to her. Yes. What do you have to say this morning? This morning I was just loving you, liking you, appreciating you, because I'm in an acceptance stage now. No more fault finding. I'm looking for path finding.
We are part acceptance stage. We are in a restful stage.
In a rest, okay, you come to rest.
Yes, because
You
we've
just-
accepted that this is who we are.
Yeah.
And then we decide to go with it
And
and
rest.
enjoy that acceptance.
Enjoy that. So even though another person, well, that's just your own. That's what
That is
you
where
are.
I am now.
Oh,
So
you are
some
now.
people are getting to that is what we're talking about, the stages, so that when you now know the stage you belong, you'll be able to see what you will do to enter the next
But you know
stage.
what I'm looking at? Some people find it very difficult to leave the irritation stage. Very
because
difficult.
of mindset, changes start from the mind. So because of mindset, some people just find it very difficult to let go, or to believe that this person is just like this, and look for a way out of it to be able to help that person.
So like the person is pretending, but to accept that person.
Yes.
That because I find out that a lot of people find it very difficult to leave that irritation stage. You say, there was a woman that said that sometimes she feel like killing her husband. He said that I don't like. Somebody even said I don't even want to go home anytime I
Because she
remember
has
my wife.
refused to let go. She has refused to let go, or whatsoever that put them in that situation, or whatsoever thing she begin to see in the man or the woman, she refused to let go. And because she refused to let go, so everything that is going to be coming to her is how it can hurt the partner, not how they can make the marriage work
Wow.
out.
It's very important that as viewers, as you listen to us, truly, I really appeal to you, learn to forgive. One of the things that have helped me in the early part of my life, I find out that I can actually have forgiveness in advance. Having married, I'm not interested in broken home. It's difficult. A man that have two wives have two minds, because no two person is the same. You have to have a two mindset, two way of behavior. Because if you look at A is not B. The two of them might look at, but you get A before you get B. If you have three wives, you have to have three mindset. The three of them cannot be the same. And it's very difficult. If you don't know, it's very difficult to start afresh. It's very difficult to marry another wife. It's difficult to marry another husband. It's just that you are repeating that class again. And many a times, repeating a class does not actually give you the best. You have lose time, you have lose energy, you have lose a part of your life, you have lose a lot of things. Even resources. So it's very important for you to work to see how your marriage can work. Accept what you have. Believe what you have. There's a Bible verse during the course of the week. I was just looking at this Bible verse. It's taken from the book of Proverbs, chapter number 11, verse 29. And this is how a lot of people, this Bible verse explain it all. Look at what it said. He who troubleth his house shall inherit the wind, and the foolish shall be servant to the wise of heart. Now, a fool will be a servant to a man that is wise. Now, what we are sharing with you is words of wisdom. Accept what you have, grow with it, and believe. And dream together, work together, encourage each other, forgive each other. Those things come with acceptance. My girlfriend, they have a lot to say about those acceptance and all of those stuff. But the truth of it is that we were not born twins. We didn't come from the same family. We didn't grow up in the same area. But it's acceptance that have brought us to where we are today. I love my wife, and constantly I tell her, I love you. Even this morning, I was just showing her love. I was telling her, look at it, you are a good woman, you are this, you are this. The reason is that I don't have another one.
You have no option.
No, I have option, but I don't have another one.
Made.
It's a choice.
So I'm the choice that you have made, and then you have no option but to love the choice that you have made.
I have option, but I've decided to take this option, which is the option of making a choice and be committed to the choice that I have made. And this choice that I've made, no regret. I am going to work it out. I don't like everything about my wife, you know. I'm telling you, I don't like everything. But the truth is that I've accepted it, and we are working. And I believe that it's not everything about me she likes. You know, that is why the Bible says, dwell together according to knowledge. And that is what we are sharing with you. It's not, nobody is perfect. Some of us think that because we are married, yes, because we are married, oh, your partner have to be perfect, and you are thinking, oh, they did not train you well. Nobody trained his or her daughter for wife. You have to make the wife that you have. Nobody trained his or her son as a husband. You have to bring out the husband in your man that you marry. Today is Saturday, a lot of you are dancing and jumping and getting ready to go for wedding. Now you prepare for wedding and without preparing for marriage. Now that you are in for it, begin to make your plan. Get out all these stages that will come. You just enjoy your life. Hello, girlfriend. I know you have a lot to say, and let's go.
The truth is that, you know, our viewers, we are all work in progress. Once you are married, you begin to look for the right path to be able to reach out to your partner to make it work. You know, most time we keep saying that when you marry, your husband is not another person. Your wife is not another person. Begin to dwell with your husband, your wife, and begin to see how you can bring out the best in yourself, because two of you are actually different. You are from different background, different upbringing, different exposure. Everything about two of you are different. But you discover that when you are in a romance stage, sometimes you intend to ignore so many things because you just got married, you are so excited, you want to be around. And then when you get to irritation stage, where people find it very difficult to let go, to cross. And if you go out of the irritation stage, I assure you your marriage will succeed.
And now, when we talk about going out of the irritation stage, you know, how do people go out? And those are the things I want us to look at. How? Because you see, a lot of people find it very difficult to accept that this person is like this. For example, somebody is doing something. You just know that this thing is not deliberate, but this is just how. For example, now somebody that doesn't know something, you know. Now you know it's not deliberate. It's like our new driver now. He doesn't know a lot of places in town. Now, when he traffic gate left, then he's supposed to go right. You don't need to take him. Take it up on him as if you are going to kill him.
Teach him.
You teach him. And that's how it is. You see, the truth of it is that we must be teachable. To get out of that irritation stage, you have to be teachable. But a lot of people, they are in that marriage, they are not teachable. Your husband will be telling you, I don't like this. This is I don't like. This I like this. You want to do that thing. You say, this is how I was trained. This is not your father's house, for God's sake. This is not your mother's house, for God's sake. This is another person that you are married to. I believe that we have to, just like the answer you give, you need to be teachable. You have to be able to understand that person and have a teachable spirit. Have a learning spirit. Learn, apply. Know that this person is not your enemy. Because you see, when you trouble your house, you will not have anything to hold on to. You will inherit the wind. You know you cannot hold wind. That's what the Bible says in Proverbs 11:29. It said, you will be a fool. You can't hold wind. You will inherit the wind. And that's a lot of people today. In their marriage, it's just wind. It's a wall that is left. They have nothing left. Why? It looks as if the marriage institution is just a mistake. It's not a mistake. No wonder in other civilized nations, a lot of them are married to dogs, some are marrying men. Well, you are not new. It has been old as the Bible. But the truth of it is that is not the way you were born. And you can never sustain the marriage institution through those methodology that come through a very, very serious evil spirit that you need to pray and say, God, deliver me from having to go to that direction. But the truth of it is this. You need to know that your partner is not your enemy. Both of you need to learn to understand each other and apply those things that you learn. Mm-hmm.
The truth is that it's because why people find it very difficult to leave that stage. It's because one, maybe they don't even know the reason why they enter the marriage in the first place. When you enter the marriage with a mindset of making it to work, making it to succeed, of the vow that you have taken until death do you part, no matter what your partner have done to you, you must be able to learn to forgive. You must learn to let go. You must learn to begin to see what and what, how do I help my partner to come out of it, not just shutting down. Because some people believe that, oh, she's an adult. Oh, he's an adult. You should know what to do.
You have to know.
So most times you don't leave your marriage on autopilot. So everybody must begin to, adjust, see what you can be able to do, so that your marriage can actually succeed. Because that is why we have our different temperaments. Because that is another aspect. When you don't know why your partner is acting the way he's doing, why your husband acts or the way he's doing, it becomes another issue. So you discover that when you are in this irritation stage, where you begin to see little things your partner do begin to offend you, is telling you something repeatedly, the thing begin to get to your nerves. It's like you begin to see yourself, oh, why would she have to behave like this? Why must he delay in dressing? Why must he do this? But you discover that you cannot run out of this stage. Each of these stages that we are talking about is a process that you need to go through. But in going through this process, you need the divine wisdom of God to be able to understand your partner, that this is what and what I should do that will bring peace and joy to my marriage. Your partner will offend you, then I should be able to forgive. Your partner will do things that you don't like, you should be able to let go. Because why? She's work in progress. There's two of you are not perfect. You are work in progress. So you should be able to make excuse for the other person. Oh, the reason why my partner is doing this, maybe because this is the understanding that she has. Because that is that I actually deal with people. Even if people are working with you, people act based on the understanding that they have, based on the knowledge they have about that thing. So it's your duty now to begin to see how you can educate yourself, to begin to help yourself to bring out the best. And when you are able to do that, that is when you now come to the acceptance stage or the resolution stage, where you now make up your mind that, oh, I think with these years that we have been together, I've got to understand that both of us are actually different. And both of us are individual. Both of us have our weaknesses and our strengths. And what do I do? So I will not inhabit the patch in the wilderness, or hold on, or the get wind. Yes. Then what do? I need to see that, oh, anger is not going to solve the issue. Malice is not going to be the issue. So keeping malice for years, for months, not talking to each other, or at any little thing you get angry, get upset, you begin to see that I think some of these things can actually be overlooked.
And nothing else. One of the things when people are in this irritation stage, truly this morning I just want to make an appeal to us as couples. We should be very careful the type of words we use. One of the things that have helped me over the years, and I recommend it to you, when I'm angry, I don't talk. When I'm happy, I don't make promise. A lot of time, the reason why a lot of people find it very difficult to leave this irritation stage, some of the things I wrote down here, no matter how angry you are, never say things to your wife or to your husband when you are fighting. Like, for example, some words that people will use when they are very angry. You are just being senseless. You are talking to your husband, you are talking to your wife, that she or he is being senseless. Your wife, no matter how you angry you are, don't act in ignorance and use that kind of word. The reason is that the enemy, the accuser, the devil, the waster, the spoiler, the killer, you know what he does? He's an accuser of the brethren. When you have gone to work, he goes back. And how can you say your wife, you call your wife senseless person? You make her very angry, even without showing it. And you really break her heart when you use such kind of word, or you break his heart. You are calling your husband, the person you have decided to spend the rest of your life with, and you say the person is senseless, and you are using those kind of words. Now, when those are the kind of words that the enemy will use, and begin to never make your wife feel ignored. Don't know what she do. No matter what she does, find a better way of correcting her and talk to her. Use words, not senseless word like that. When you now call your husband senseless, you are a foolish man. You are a senseless man. A lot of people have bad, listen to me, with your tongue. You know, you with your tongue, you can set a nation on fire. War break out because people don't know how to talk. Another word that people use again, another word that people use, you just say, oh, other women are better than you. Did you not see other women or see other men before you marry your wife? Now, why are you now using other persons to now begin to, if you want to correct somebody, call the person. You can correct in love. Don't correct in hatred. Even when it comes to children. You know, when we were raising our children in the house, I remember I would always tell my wife, never use your hand to beat your children. Hand, when you use hand to beat them, you are putting about, you signal hatred. You call them, no matter what they have done, sit them down. You know, I'm going to beat you, and I'm going to beat you with a rod, and the rod of correction will chase foolishness out of you. And I'm going to, you tell them what you want to do, and the reason why you are beating them, and tell them that if you don't beat them, even God will be angry with you. I did that to my children. Many times my wife will say, but they still come to you. When I finish beating them, they tell me thank you. The truth of it is that even when it comes to your husband, your wife, you want to talk to your husband. Oh, honey, this thing, oh, you call it, honey, this thing. Look at the way you just did that thing there that time. I was really not comfortable with it. You know, honey, that's already showing that, hey, you are not looking at it and say, you blockhead, you did, you are using bad language. No, or your wife. You now begin to use your wife as a man. Never compare your wife to another woman, no matter the misunderstandings she or your wife have shown or you get as a married person. Never compare your wife or your husband to other people. You are not helping her. No two women are the same. I just told you when we start. It's very important. Don't compare your wife. There are words, hateful words. Can you imagine you are telling your partner, I hate you? Constantly telling your husband, I hate you.
I think some of those words, you know, that is what we see in irritation stage.
Yeah, those are, and then people learn to move out of it.
I think that those are, once you are still using those words, you are still in that irritation stage where any little thing that your partner does gets to your nerves, you are angry about it, and that is when those words begin to come outside. But you discover that you have to see how you can grow out of that. And the only way to grow out of that is when you now begin to, you know, tolerate the reality of marriage begin to dawn on you. That this, for God's sake, this is supposed to be my friend. We are supposed to be, two of us are supposed to be working together as a team. Not because once you are using those words on your partner, what you are doing, you are beginning to give room for separation. You are beginning to give room for the individual person to begin to be on her own, begin to independent, doing things without not getting you involved.
And because you don't value her.
Because there's no value.
There's no value.
So if your marriage must succeed, these things that I are saying is also applicable to the men. Both sides. Yes. Sometimes you see the women too also use some of these words.
Oh, so you call yourself
I
a man.
regret marrying you.
So
I
you
think
call
you are a
yourself
mistake in my life. You know, the choice I make, I think no. So some of those words, we have to be very, very careful when we are in irritation stage, because we said it before that in this irritation stage is when most divorce and separation actually take place. And
no, sorry to continue. No, the funny thing, if you leave this marriage now and go and marry another person, the circle will still come. You will still get to this
because you must get it's a stage.
It's a circle, yes.
And it's a process. And this process is what actually bring out the best in your marriage. Bring out the best in the individual, because when you now begin, because when you are in courtship, you don't actually know yourselves. When you marry for the first 5 years, you might not actually, because every time you stay together, you begin to know yourself better. We are 25 years in marriage now, but the way we knew ourselves when it was 5 years, 10 years, is different from the way we get to know ourselves now. Every time you begin to know yourself,
there is something to know. There is always something to know.
Something to know.
There is something to know. As long as there is life.
Yes. So when you are able to go out of this irritation stage, then you discover that, oh, you begin to say, oh, I need to compromise. You know, okay, maybe for instance, you know that your wife delay in dressing, in going out and all that. So what do? Instead of before you get angry and then you leave her, you begin to say, okay, what do I do? Okay, our appointment is 9 o'clock. Then by 7 o'clock, see what you can do. Okay, have you done this? See how you can contribute and play a part. You begin to compromise, not be rigid and say, okay, is either this or not. The same thing with the man. You see, when you go out of that irritation state to this resolution or acceptance stage, that is when you begin to, the things you are afraid of before, you begin to go out of your fears. You begin to see your communication be seasoned. That is not everything. It's not everything that you just say with anger. You begin to, oh, I think this aspect, we need to do this. You begin to talk as husband and wife. You begin to plan, because the reality of what the individual actually begin to dawn on you. That this is my wife. This is who she is. Like I think there was a couple that came to see us, and then the man began to testify that the woman is action. She used to get, at any little thing she needs to say, but after some time they begin to that the wife have actually adjust and cool down, because the man too have also see, my wife is an action, before you say anything she picked it up. The man begin to study the woman, begin to say, okay, this is actually who my wife is, but how do I help her? So the only way to help her or help him is not to do those things that stir up those issues in her, or that stir those anger. And that is how it is. So you begin to compromise to bring out the best in your wife, in your husband. Or you see maybe the way your husband dress, or you just come to the house, you just enter the bed, does not take his bath. Instead of those things to get to you, what do? As his entry, oh, just stay with him, go to the bedroom, your water is in the bedroom, just take your. So you make fun out of everything. Not just every time look at you, don't come close to me, you are, in fact, I'm perceiving, and that is your husband or that is your wife. So you discover that this acceptance and resolution state will actually, it will not be something of win-win situation. We are in it together. They will now begin to see the cooperation that operates in a football playing begin to take place in your marriage. That you as a man, you will not want to do anything without not telling your wife. But you see, when you are in irritation state, there are some things you don't even discuss with your wife. There are some things you don't discuss with your husband. You can just wake up early in the morning, off you go, and your husband asks you, where are you going to? You say, none of your business. But you discover that when you are in this acceptance stage, you begin to discuss. Okay. I'm going to society, and you don't hide anything from each other.
Okay, you are listening to Reverend Simon Asemota and Pastor Grace Asemota on Me and You Christian Relationship Foundation. We love you and we care. We want your marriage to do well. Our heart desire and what God has called us to do is to see you happy in your marriage, raising your children and taking responsibility as a man for the time we have here on earth. I want to read something to you. When you get into acceptance stage, what comes to play is in Ezekiel 36 verse 26. Ezekiel 36 verse 20. Look at what he said. I will give you a heart. I will give you a new heart, and I'll put a new spirit in you. I will remove from you the heart of stone, and I will give you the heart of flesh. When you come to a certain stage, you now have the heart of flesh. What is the heart of flesh? The heart that have feeling, the heart that serve, the heart that feel. That affection will begin to come, knowing that this person is the bone of my bone, is the flesh of my flesh. This, my partner, is not perfect. We are all coming from imperfection, and we are growing to perfection. And we now come to that place. That's the stage you were talking about. When you come to acceptance of this other word, when you have made a resolution. Now, like the one I have made up my mind that this is my wife for my lifetime. I'm not praying for another one. I'm praying for this one, and I'm saying that this one is what I love. This one is what I keep. This one will give me all the satisfaction. This one will give me everything that I want in a woman. This one have it. And if it's not there, we make it happen. We bring it to pass, because God has made everything available to us. Love what you have, accept what you have, and place value on what you have. If you don't place value on what you have, then you will never get it. You will lose it. So whatever you don't value, you trash. The Bible says in Proverbs chapter 10 verse 4, he becometh poor. You that dealeth with a slack hand. You will not value what you have if you handle it slackly. If you handle it well, you always get the value. Let's look at what is written. These two we're just talking about, A and acceptance and all of those things. Let's look at what acceptance is talking about.
Okay, so like what we put here, acceptance or the resolution stage, is when you both begin to face the reality of marriage and acknowledge your partner weaknesses. You eventually realize anger and malice does not solve any problem and begins to feel ways to deal with your differences. Both of you begin to compromise here and there and adjust to each other.
Wow.
You see, the issue of getting angry, begin to tell yourself, oh, we have been fighting, so what do we get? My mother-in-law, before she died, she will always say, since we have been playing and then not, so what now happened? So you now start telling yourself that we have been fighting. What do we gain? What have we come out of it? We end up sometimes, some people, you end up losing your children.
You inherit the wind. You just inherit, you break your things, scatter the whole thing. Some people even destroy their picture.
Yes,
in their house.
wedding picture.
Some will break their husband windscreen. You know,
so
just begin to acquire poverty.
Acquisition
of poverty.
So what did you gain out of it? So it's a time for you to actually sit down. Every time I'm on my husband's nerves, quarreling. So we even extend it to the office. You go to the office, you go and make issue. Some men will go to their wife shops, destroy most of the things there, beat your wife up on the street. So you have been doing it. What did you gain out of it? So this is the time that I begin to see, I think I need to make up my mind and just accept that this is the choice I've made. I need to see how I can dwell with that person with knowledge to make it work. Because if you don't have that mindset, you will drive that woman, you marry somebody, you will go through this process.
You will go through this process.
Because she will come with her own difference too. She will come with her own, with what she knows. But is what you actually want in your wife is what you begin to put in her. And you as the woman, you must also be ready to accept and then to take and then to learn. Because the problem is that many people are not ready to learn. We believe that we know it all. And that is what is causing conflict. Some people say, women, deal with your wife, not women. For the fact that other people are misbehaving their own does not mean that your wife will be like. So don't come with that mindset that, oh, women are like this, so I need to make sure I deal with this issue. And the person you are dealing with is not even a part of what has happened in whatever you learn from. Part of it. The same thing with the man aspect. So you discover that these issues of quarreling, fighting, maltreating your wife, some men maltreat their wife, some women maltreat their husband, punish their husband just because of the sin of their father or the sin of what somebody have done to them before. It will not help your marriage. It has not been solving problem. There is for you to look for the way out. Okay. Okay, go ahead. Okay, so couple cannot push through the private stage through deepening communication. Your communication gap, you begin to sit down. And begin to talk as business partner in this marriage. Begin to come with idea. You begin to come with something, or before maybe you are just afraid of discussing. You don't know how you will react. You don't know what. But this time you begin to see it. You begin to come with idea. I think if you do this like this, it will actually work for us. Then you begin to see yourself reasoning together on the way forward in this your marriage. Honesty and trust begin to showcase. You discover and create a new sense of connections. They learn more about each other's strengths and weaknesses. They learn to identify and talk about their fears instead of acting them out. They refuse to judge or blame their partner. They translate their complaint into requests for change. Their complaint. Yes, their complaint. It's not a request. I don't like this. I don't like this. I think this aspect about you is what I don't love. Okay, your wife cook food, and then there's something you say. Instead of quarreling, complaining, you're always like this, and you did. Instead of that, I think if you do this, I will appreciate. If you cook this type of this thing, I will appreciate. You see, you now begin to put those requests into, put those complaints into requests. Without not fighting, without not quarreling. And that's where maturity comes in. That is where you show maturity. Yes. When you begin to put your complaint, instead of acting your fear, you are now putting it into request. And that is maturity, where
both of you are mature. That is what we call. That's why we're talking about those things. You can read it there.
Yes.
When we talk about accepting your husband for who
For
he
who
is,
he is.
and trust to God any change that you need to be made. Don't try to change him yourself. That will only make you both miserable. Only God, only God can mold either of your heart into what they are meant to be. It's very important where you accept your partner. Only God. That's why the God factor will not be overemphasized. You need to go to God in prayer. Now, when you take those complaints as requests, then you now move into accepting. Having accept your partner, you are not trying to change that person, but you have accepted that person and trust God that as you do that, that person will change. The next one is that your husband need to know you have confidence in him, and your wife need to know you have confidence. You don't be afraid. You know, don't be afraid of having discussed with your wife. You have that confidence. And when you begin to believe you have accepted your partner first, then you believe your partner. You don't begin to prognose and do some kind of CIA. No, you believe your partner tells you, I am here. Believe is there.
Yes.
You don't even need to call to find out whether he's there. You just believe. Let me tell you something. Love and believe in your partner make you vulnerable. Somebody is there, you are thinking, okay, should the case she's not there. Now, what's your business? Should the case she's there? She said she's there. Because you love her, you have accepted her, then you have to believe in her. That belief make you have confidence that you are on his side. But he is big. You not be a big cheerer. Believe him or her. Believe the best of him or her. You are not the one that is you are the bigger, and you are cheering your partner up to victory. Because you believe in him, he will not want to let you fall. Because you believe in him, he will not want to let you down. Because you believe in him, he will just accept you and move on. He bring out the best. Yes, the best. If you believe in something, then the third one is the number 3 one we're talking about. Both of you are what?
Committed.
You be committed to each other. You show commitment. This morning I was telling my wife that my wife is good. Yesterday she just went to the kitchen. She fried fish and brought it to the bedroom. I was inside the bedroom. She would have as well eat the fish. Then I ate it, and I saw that somebody really cared, because I mentioned the fried fish, and she just went and somebody might be there say, just fish? Yes. What else do you want? You know what I have? Fish. She fried the fish and brought the fish. I ate it. I said, this woman really care. If it's some people, they can just fry and eat it alone in the kitchen. That's the hour. But she brought it to, I saw care. I saw somebody that really loved me and cared for me and interested in my well-being. And I'm also planning to also reciprocate that gesture that she has done. Now, it might just be, mine might be fish, yours might be something else. Now, listen to me. In marriage, we are in to serve one another. Now, when you are not serving your partner, you are selfish. You are self-centered. Now, but when you are serving your partner, both of you begin to work together in a team success. So your couple far better when you are committed to your marriage generally, and to each other especially. And you are committed, and they are more likely to stay together when they don't even consider divorce as an opinion. Yes, as what?
As an option.
As an option. They don't consider divorce. They don't use that word around. A lot of people, they just use I will divorce you, I will divorce you, I will divorce you. That's from the pit of hell. Now, God hates divorce, and we should hate it too. And as children of God, we don't use those kind of vocabulary in our home. And that's why we need to work together. Yes, you are in committed state. Yes, continue.
Be entirely devoted to one another, for better or worse, for richer or poorer, in sickness and in health. Honor the vow you make to one another, and regard them as binding. So you discover that when you now come to this acceptance, you are committed to the marriage. When you are committed to the marriage, you will not want to hurt your partner. When you see anything that is evil, you will not want to put your hand. You want to please your partner. You want to make him or her to be happy. You want to bring out the best. because you are committed to the marriage. It's when people are not committed to their marriage, that is when they begin to look for side chick, look for doing other things, because what, they are not committed to the marriage. That is when they will begin to, you know, be conflict in your home. You don't want there be peace in your home. Sometimes you ask some people, why have you not gone to? Say, in fact, I want to go late so that by the time I get back, I can have my peace in my home. Because by the time I come now, it's from one trouble to another. So why will you make your atmosphere like that, your home like that? Because one, we must be able to know that as couples, as husband and wife, we are role model to our children. Whatsoever we are seeing our children today as they marry in their husband's house, is traceable to what they were seeing in your life, except God intervene and arrest the individuals. So you have to be we have to watch out of what we are doing, because our children are seeing what we are doing. Our children are seeing what we are. The word of God says, train up a child the way he should go, that when he's old he will not depart. So how are you training your children as husband and wife? What do you people exhibit in your home? Like the other day, a woman came and said, in presence of my children, my husband beat me up and, you know, get me naked. Remove everything, in fact, that the children on their own have to run away in presence of the children.
Why? What did they get by
So what do you get by doing that? Whether you like it or not, offense will come. Your partner will offend you, because both of you are one. So when the offense comes, what do? That is where the resolution and acceptance comes in. What do? Is to be able to sit on the right table and iron it. I did not like what you did. It's better than going to that extent. Sometimes neighbors will have to come to your house to sort out issues. We must allow the fear of God to be established in our hearts, for us to do things to give God glory. Your marriage should give God glory. As a man, your life should give God glory. The way you treat her, how are you treating your wife? As a woman, how are you treating your husband? It doesn't matter where you find yourself. You might be the breadwinner. You might be the one that is, taking care of the home now, as a result of maybe your husband is going through one challenges of the other. But how do you treat him? Do you treat him as your king? Do you treat her as your queen? Or you are treating your husband as one of those slaves in the house? Or you are treating your wife as one of those property that you just bought? Because that is what will make you to talk to your wife. I regret marrying you. You know, you are a bunch of human beings that does. In fact, there's no brain. You don't even have brain. I want you to know that nobody is totally useless. Whether your wife go to school, she's educated or not, there is something in her. So as husband and wife, make sure the first thing you see in your wife, you see in your husband. Don't allow it go out of your sight. What is that thing that attracted you to your husband, to your wife? You must keep it. Even when you are in this irritation stage, keep that thing, because that is what will help you to go to this acceptance or resolution stage, where you now begin to see your differences and begin to work on each other's weaknesses. Because we all have our weakness. Begin to work on those, begin to compromise, begin to see how you can make good of it. So that tomorrow, when your children also marry, you will have rest. They will not be packing their load and coming to their house. And you as a man, I think we should avoid the issue of pack out of my house, pack out of my house, pack out, I don't want to marry. Because one day, when that woman pack out of the house, you will see the value of that woman in your life. Because nobody is totally useless. We all have a part we are playing.
It's very important. It's very important that we work together as a team. You know, when you come to acceptance stage, that is when you begin to, like what the Bible teaches, where there is no vision, the people perish. When you come to acceptance stage, both of you can actually have a vision. You have a goal, and it is very important for couples to dream as a team. Discuss with your spouse your hope, your desire for the future. A lot of family don't have a dream. They don't have the future that both of them are pursuing. It's very important that husband and wife should have a dream as a team, because where there is really nothing, because that is what the Bible says, he created a man. The first assignment God gave to a man was work. He put him in a garden. The man has a dream, and God have opened his mind up and told you what to do. Then God said, it is not good for this man to be alone. I will create a helpmeet for him. Now when your wife comes, you need to have a dream. You need to have a dream with your spouse, hope and desire your future. Now, don't be embarrassed or afraid of to dream big. Sit and walk towards goal together and pray that God will help you to accomplish great things. Now, as married couple, as a man, as a woman, you need to have a dream for your family. If I ask you as a man, as a woman now, where are you going? What's the dream that you have for your family? It's very important that family life, we are supposed to not just to marry ourselves, we are supposed to affect the generation next by the dream and the goal that we set, so that our children in our lifetime, even after we have gone, our children will always have a reference point to which what daddy legacy. This is mommy legacy. This is what they use their life on. You might be there, you are listening to us. We cannot exhaust this today, but we are on family life. You can actually get a lot of information in our social media handle and our Facebook page, how you can reach us and get to know more about me and you family life. Now, me and you family life is a foundation that strongly believe that family can work. That if you are committed, if you are able to handle and work together as a team, your marriage can actually succeed. There are no two persons that is the same. This is what we do in family life. One, we have a marriage school called Marriage Academy where you can register if you are not married. And even though you are married, we have counselors that have been married for over 40, 30, 45 years, 24 years, 25 years, 16. We have all of these people. The reason why we have them, I found out that there is nothing new under the sun. The ABCD that you read while you were in school, your son is right there in school, still learning it now. Life is all about principle. When you put those principles to work and with the God factor on your side, you will succeed. The success you see in order can be reduplicated. It can be reduplicated. But many a times, a lot of people are not showing commitment to achieve or acquire the knowledge that is needed to bring about success in their area of marriage. Some people think that marriage is sex. Marriage is more than sex. The Me and You Christian Relationship Foundation, we have a marriage academy where you can register as a young person, or you want to marry in another 6 months, 1 year. You can go through this course for 3 weeks, or about 6 weeks course, about 2 months course you can go through, where you now will teach you things you need to know before you say I do. Now, then we also have a church, New World Assembly. Now, that's a church aspect of our foundation. Now, in that church, we strongly believe that God wants men to be saved and come to the knowledge of Christ. Now, without Christ, the life you live is in crisis. If you don't give your life to God, some of these things that we are saying, you cannot implement them, because it's only the Christ life that brings the guaranteed life in your marriage success. That's why the fear of God is a foundation for every good marriage. Now, we have a church, and our services are Sundays and Wednesdays. And Friday, we have counseling starting from 12 to 4 o'clock Friday, Saturday, and on Sunday, we have service by 8 o'clock. Now, venue of the place is at Nyanya by Mopo Junction, Federal Capital Territory, FCT. Nyanya is just after Asukoro. You go downward before you get to Maraba, is the border between Nasarawa State and Federal Capital Territory. At Mopo Junction, by the side that you have the UBA Bank, just at that junction, Veterinary Road, Federal Housing Estate, you come there. It's called Hirain Center. In Hirain Center, we have a school. We have a school from creche to secondary school. We are, by the grace of God, we are constructing a jam center now, and a lot of things is happening. You can be a part of it. And I believe my wife, will I call her my wife or my girlfriend? Which one do you prefer? Is it a girlfriend? Okay, both wife and girlfriend, both of them are the same thing, because just a woman that wear those two crown. Now, she has other announcement because there's a program that is coming up. And I believe she's so excited about the program, she wants to invite you for that program. Hello, girlfriend.
Thank you.
All right.
Okay, so thank you, our viewers, for always listening to this program. So we have a seminar that is called Family Life Conference that is coming up next week from on Thursday to on Sunday if you live in FCT in Abuja. So we want you to be our guest, where we'll be talking about building a total family on the 19th to on the 22nd of August. And then on Thursday, the program will start by 5:30 p.m. And on Saturday, we have morning session where we'll be having medical screening. Maybe you're having some health issues, and so there will be free medical screening. And then the youth are not also left out. This is holiday. Don't just keep your children at home. They need to come. They need to learn some certain things that will help them in their lifetime, even in choosing a partner and having a successful marriage. And of course, on that Saturday, 5 p.m. in the evening, we have session, and we have counselors that have been married for several years. They have children, grandchildren, and they also be having great grandchildren. They will be there to be able to share their life experience, how they are able to succeed and be in their marriage. And as you come, I know you're married. And on Sunday, of course, will be the Thanksgiving, where we'll be appreciating God for the success of the program, and then for the anniversary of the ministry aspect of the Me and You Christian Relationship Foundation, and the time is 8 a.m. And then the phone numbers to be able to get across to us is 081 081 19 83 89 59, or 070 13 19 92 14. And the venue once again is Ire Center off Veterinary Road, Federal Housing Estate, Yanya. We strongly believe that family is everybody's business. We must join hands together to build our family, to make sure that when it's well with our family, it is well with our community, to be well with our society, and of course, it will be well with our nation at large. And I know that as you come, your life will not remain the same. God bless you.
Okay, until we see you again, this is Reverend Simon Asemota and Pastor Grace Asemota. We love you and we thank God for your life, for always tuning to this station. I also want you to extend the fellowship to your friends and tell them about the program. And in case you have a church program or a seminar you want us to come and be your guest, we are glad you want to come. We are excited to come. And we have written a lot of books on family life, on business, on so many things. There's this my latest book, I Fight Poverty, I Walk. Poverty does not answer to borrowing, poverty answer to work. And the next one is the marriage killer. Now, most of those my books, you can get them if you can attend this seminar. Until you see you again in our next edition, I love you. God bless you. Thank you for being a part of this program. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.